Hi everyone, this is Chiwe from One Dog Wolf, and in this video we'll be making this Amigurumi Flan with a strawberry on top. For our supplies, you're going to need 4 different colors of yarn. We'll start with the brown, then the yellow, and then of course a red and a green for the strawberry. We'll use an F-hook, a tapestry needle, small pair of scissors, 6mm safety eyes, and it's always good to have a ruler around. I like using the ruler to measure the distance between the eyes. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to start with about a 6-inch tail. I always like to start with 4 to 6 inches on at the beginning, unless otherwise noted. We're going to start with a magic circle. If the circle's too big, I like to just close it up a little bit. Then work your 6 stitches into the magic circle. Okay, and then pull the beginning tail tight, and that closes the circle. And then join to the first stitch with a slip stitch. Okay, next round. You're working 2 stitches into each stitch around. So we started with 6, this round is going to have 12. Okay, and now we're going to join using the invisible stitch the invisible seam instead of a regular join. So we're going to remove our hook, put it from the back to the front of that first stitch, and pull the stitch back, pull it tight, and we've joined. Okay, and now we chain 1 to begin the next round. And the next round is going to have 18, which is 1, and then 2 in the next, then 1, and then 2 in the next, and we'll continue this pattern all the way around. Okay, and again we'll find the first stitch, which is here, insert, and pull from front to back. Okay, and then at this point we're going to release this hook, turn it around, we're going to sew in our magic circle. So the magic circle is not secure, so if you want these to be extra secure, you want to make sure you tie a knot. So pull tight, and then just find anywhere to insert your needle. Okay, and then I'm just going to tie a knot. Okay, so I've tied a knot, and if you would like, you can cut with a short tail because it is secure with a knot, or if you feel more comfortable weaving it in a few times, I just weave it in. and then I cut a tail, a short one. All right, so that's done, and then we can continue working on our front side. Next round is 24, so we're following the same pattern. It's 1, 2, and then an increase. The first round was 1 and then an increase. This is 2 and then an increase, and then the next one would be 3 and an increase. And so we're multiplying out, we're going up in multiples of 6. The last set, 1, 2, increase. Open up a loop a bit, pick the first stitch, pull tight, so we're joining our round, and then one more in the brown. Okay, and now we're going to switch to yellow, and I'll show you how to switch. So we're going to join this round first. Okay, so pull tight, and this round is joined. All right, we're going to pull the brown down so it's tight. Okay, so we'll leave that here, and then we'll get the yellow. Again, leave, this time you can leave a slightly shorter tail, maybe 4 inches or so. So we already have the brown on the hook. We take the yellow with the tail, and we just grab it with the hook. Okay, and make sure you're holding both ends of it, and you're going to pull through this loop. And you're going to hold on to this loop because everything gets a little slippery. All right, and then the yellow end is now on the back, on the inside. You're going to hold on to the brown and the yellow on the back. Now you're going to chain 1 with the yellow. Okay, and now once you can take the brown and pull the brown down, and then all you see is the yellow, and the brown just kind of absorbs into the back. So now you have a chain of yellow, and you're ready to start the round of yellow. At this point, you can also cut the tail for the brown, and then just remove that from the table so you don't have too many colors, and it makes it confusing. So now we've switched colors successfully. We have a chain on the yellow, and for this round we're going to be working in the back loops of the previous round. So if you look at the loops here, you have, they're like sideways V's, so you're going to be working into the back loops of each of these. Okay, so the back loop of this very first one is a little harder to get into. It's a little bit tighter than the others. Okay, and see how this side of the loop is really, this side of the stitch is really loose. That's okay, because I can just tug on the working yarn a little bit, shake, 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 tug, 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 and that'll even it out. Okay, so again, you're going to work on the back loops of each of these, and that leaves this ridge in the front. Okay, and that's the last stitch. So you can see working in the back loops really helps you change direction. So you can see this is the flat top, and now we have kind of a ridge with this line in place. And then we're going to join the yellow like we join any other row. So you take the first stitch back to front, pick up your working stitch, and then pull it front to back and pull tight. Okay, and that's how we joined a color. And then from here you have, if you look at the back, you've got your brown and you've got your yellow. So what I like to do, and this is a bit of a cheat, is to just tie a knot and then tie another knot to secure it. And then if you would like, you can weave it in. Sometimes I don't, to be honest. So this time, let me show you how I weave it in. I'll take the hook out. You just want to weave the needle through the back horizontal bars a couple times. You can just go through a few rounds. I don't weave it in back and forth. I just weave it in through a couple of those the back bars, and I find that that's sufficient. And then what you do want to do is to make sure to cut the tails short so that they don't come out through the outside of the piece. And then just continue on with the pattern. We're going to be working another increase and a couple more rows for the pudding, and then we'll work on putting in the face. Okay, look, it's a pudding. Okay, so I have completed round 13, and this had 42 stitches in the row, and in this next, in the round. And then in the next round, we're going to start closing. So this is it. This is the depth of the pudding, and then we're going to start closing this up. Okay, so this row, we're going to work in the back loops again of each round. Okay, and then we'll join this round as usual. Pull tight. So now, let me take this hook out for a moment. You can see this is the flat part, and we had switched, we had kind of turned the corner with working in the back loop, and then we worked all the way down, and now by working in the back loop, we're turning another corner. So eventually, as we pull everything in, this will become the bottom. So it's actually going to look like that. Okay, and this is a great time for us to put our eyes on. So we put our eyes, let's find our seam. Here's our seam. So this is where our face is. Okay, and we want the eyes below the halfway point, at around the halfway point. So we say between rounds 10 and 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're going to do right here is where we're going to put the eyes. Okay, and then we're just going to pick place approximately, on the other side of the seam. And then we're going to want it to be about an inch to an inch and a quarter away from each other. So this is where the ruler comes in handy. So you can see, oops. That's about, from center to center is just under an inch and a quarter. Okay. But we're going to put these guys on, this guy. Okay, so now my eyes are on, and I'm going to get thread to sew the mouth. So two ways you can do this mouth. You can create, so if you have eyes, you can create a V mouth, or you can do more of like a three-pointed or a three-sided mouth. And then this way, and then you have eyes over here. So you have two methods. Obviously this one is going to be easier because it's only two lines, and this one is a little bit harder. So on my sample I did 3, but it was very shallow, so it's kind of just a tiny little smile, and it's up to you how you want to do this. So I will show you the V. You're going to work in the row below, the round below, poke right into the center. Okay, and then this will go on this side, and then here, I guess an easy way is just, this usually takes me the longest in any amigurumi. This part always takes me the longest. So don't get frustrated if it also takes you several tries to get the exact mouth or an expression that you want. So the easiest way is to work into the holes that you have there, and you get this. Okay, and that's cute, and you can stick with that. If you want to do something different, let's pull that out. Okay, and that's for that side. And then that means now I have to come up through the same spot. Okay, and then I pick sort of where I want. And then this guy is going to go up here. So that's another way you can do it. Okay, so now once you have the mouth that you like, you're going to turn around, and again, I don't always weave this in. I just tie the knot, and then I tie another knot. I've done the weaving in, and then the yarn actually comes out the back. So I just tie the knots, and it seems to work for me. Okay, so now we're going to decrease because we're closing this up. Okay, so we're going to work 1 single, and then 1 decrease. So you work into the front loop, and then the front loop again, yarn over, and then complete the single crochet. So it's a nice decrease. It doesn't have a lot of bulk to it, and it works really well. So we're going to work this all the way around. Okay. Decrease. It's going to get a little harder as we go, as we get tighter. So you're working this, and then you're working the first stitch, and as it gets tighter, this part gets really loose. What you can do is just wiggle this a little bit, and then everything will pull tight. Wiggle your active yarn. Okay. Now we're down to, alright, so that was 21 stitches. Now we're going to work down to 14. So now there's there's 14 stitches around, and this is where we're going to stop and stuff. So pull this out, loop it over your thumb, and I like to just kind of wrap this around my pinky. I have cluster filling here, lots and lots of it. Okay, and then I'm just going to stuff it in. The cluster filling feels kind of impossible to stuff because it's so loose, but it does work. Okay, so what I like about the cluster stuffing is that it doesn't clump. And I'm not going to overstuff this piece because I do want it to stay flat, because if I overstuff, then this will become round and the bottom will be round, and that's not what that's not what we're looking for. Pull tight, wrap twice to give it the tension that you need. Okay, so now one, so see, this stitch is really big. Again, we're going to just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay. And I keep my middle finger inside to hold the stuffing away from the stitches. Let's see if I can show you this. So see how it's really loose? So I'm going to wiggle, 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 and then take it down until it's tight. Okay. All right, so I'm done. This is row 7. I'm going to end here, and I'm going to use the amigurumi close, which means I'm going to cut a tail. And then I'm going to take this, I'm going to pull this through the loop itself. So I'm just going to pull out, right? And then I'm going to take yarn. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert into the front loops all the way around. Okay, there's a little bit of stuffing here. And if you want to work into the first one again, that's fine. You don't have to. And then basically we're going to pull it tight. There you go. And it has completely closed up. And then again, we're going to have to secure this with a knot. So I work a knot just like I do with the magic circle. Okay, and then I take this yarn and I just feed it into the back anywhere. And that's it. And then I cut this tail. And there's your flan. All right, and now we're going to do the strawberry. So for the strawberry, we'll do magic circle, now we're going to work this in continuous rounds. So insert, one, two, okay, so right now this is inside out. Okay, so we're going to turn it over, we're going to take the ends, we're going to pull tight so that the end is closed, and then we're going to secure this magic circle. And then cut a nice short tail. All right, and now we're going to flip this inside out. This way. Okay. And here's our active loop. And our magic circle and the tail is tucked right inside. So there's 15 stitches. I'm going to do 7 decreases. That's only 14 stitches and I have 1 left, but it doesn't matter because I'm working in continuous rounds and you won't be able to see the difference. So we're just going to decrease. There isn't a seam, so you don't have to go all the way back to the beginning. So 1. Okay. So open this up. You've got this little strawberry. I'm going to just stuff a tiny little bit in here because I want the shape of the strawberry to be pretty pronounced. I'm actually going to overstuff this. I want it to be bulgy. So I don't want a flat strawberry. Okay, so it's nice and full. And I've already finished the 7, so I'm going to cut my yarn. And again, I'm going to work the amigurumi close. To take this, just pull it all the way out. All right, so that's the strawberry itself. Okay, so this is just the magic circle. We're going to chain 2, work 1 DC into the magic circle, chain 3, now we're going to slip stitch into, I'm going to slip stitch right in here. Okay. just into the side of that double crochet that we made. So we're going to slip stitch. That creates a little bit of a picot. And then we're going to slip stitch into the magic circle. All right, we're going to do that whole thing a few more times. 2, DC into the magic circle, chain 3, slip stitch into the side, and then slip stitch into the magic circle. Okay, so the middle is now tight. The end tail will fasten off. Alright, so now we need to sew this onto the strawberry. I'm going to get rid of one of my ends here. So sew my ends in. And I'm going to use this end to attach to the strawberry. Okay, and really you're just going to sew wherever you can. So we just hold it on top. And we're probably going to sew into this circle right here. You kind of just need to start somewhere, anywhere. And then I'm going to go right back up through. Okay, and then I'm going to come down. Oops, that's not it. Just find a place that you can reinsert your needle. And then find a place. It's just sewing. So this one is a little bit on the lopsided side, and that's okay. None of this, I mean, strawberries are not perfect, and your strawberry doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so when you're done, you find a point. Okay, so now you've just tied a knot. And then if you have any yarn left, so you have a little in there, and then you just kind of squish and it goes away. Okay, so now you have just a little strawberry, raspberry, berry. Okay, and then you have your flan. you go. Now you're all done.